Welcome to the Develop Podcast. You dig what I'm saying? Vulnerability, accountability, leadership, intentionality, and demand. All aspects of life, and we just here to talk about it. I still feel like this is different because I don't got a mic, so it's throwing me off right now. But today, we got my boys, Sean and John Dillon, straight out of Cambridge. You feel me?
What up?
So I'm going to give y'all some space to introduce yourselves, who y'all are, where y'all from, all that good stuff.
I go first, bro. I'll go first. What's going on? My name is Sean Dillon. I'm from Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm a part of the urban education program along with Aubrey. That's kind of how we met. And right now I'm working as a paraprofessional with special needs students in Cambridge Public Schools. What's going on? I'm John Dillon. I'm from Cambridge as well, obviously. North Cambridge I'm from, and right now I'm a Cambridge firefighter, and I met Aubrey through UrbanEd as well, and ever since then, we've been cool ever since. So
those are my peoples. Appreciate y'all. And y'all family. But we're gonna start off with a validity check. You feel me? I think I got a good one, like I always say, because I always feel like I got a good one, right? If y'all don't know what a validity check is, it's basically just a story or a scenario where either you or somebody you know, or whatever the case may be, we can go anonymous, has been through something, and it's up to us to figure out who's valid, why they're valid, and what's valid about the situation. You feel me? Y'all got that? All right. So I'm gonna go back to, what were their names? Brittany and Candy. You feel me? I like just using the names Brittany and Candy. All right, so Brittany and Candy have been kicking it for some time. They've been dating for a while now. I would say dating for a while. And they're not officially together, but they've been dating, right? So one day, Brittany and Candy are chilling, and Candy opens up her Snapchat and Brittany notices that one of Candy's exes is their best friend on Snapchat, right? And so Brittany was like, wait a minute, hold up. Why is such and such your best friend on Snapchat? So Candy was like, basically, that's Snapchat's decision. That's not my decision. That's Snapchat's decision. And Candy barely talked to this person, right? Pretty much, and basically Brittany was still mad about the situation. Like, no, why is that person your best friend on Snapchat? But who's valid in that situation? Is Candy valid for being like, I barely talked to that person, Snapchat decided that, blah blah blah, or is Brittany valid for being upset?
I want to hear what y'all gotta say first.
My perspective is like, if they're not official, I feel like you can't get too mad, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you said it's one of their exes, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's certain boundaries you try not to cross, but overall, it's a tough situation, I feel like, it's like, there's no right answer, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just a messed up situation, and we try to stay away from those, you know what I'm saying? But
He's like, let me not say nothing, get me in trouble right now. Let me just.
Nah, I'm cool. What? No, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Man, who's valid?
Yeah, who's valid?
I think it's valid as far as it's concerned. So why them being best friends is pretty valid, because that's low key, like kind of low. But at the same time, devil's advocate, that person could say, "Oh, we're not really official yet." You know what I mean? So, but I guess it's situational. Yeah, I mean, that person could be snapping them a multitude of times, and that person could just snap back here and there, and then all of a sudden that score goes up.
He said that score.
And all of a sudden they're best friends, but even though it's not even like that, so no. But hey.
That's
I don't know. That's a tough situation. That's a valid situation. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone is really like valid or not valid in this situation, because like Snapchat just be doing its own thing. So like I mean, you could have snapped that person one time and now I'm your best friend. Like I don't know. But at the same time, just from a female like perspective, why do you even have her on Snapchat? Like y'all are exes. You don't need to be.
Word, that's fair. Yeah. Nah, for sure. Yeah.
That's valid too. That's valid too.
Yeah.
I mean,
what you think?
I don't know. I think Candy got a point. Like Snapchat makes a decision for themselves, you know, and like Sean said, you could snap that person back one time out of 1,500 times. They done ran the numbers on their end, and not you didn't. You contributed 1 point to the 1,000 number. You feel me? Like that. That's not my decision. You feel me? Like,
especially if there's a streak going on. Yeah, they have a streak going on, you know.
If there's a streak going on, then I can see the problem. Like, bro, why?
Yeah,
I can see the streak.
That's consistency.
That's consistency.
For sure. That's their relationship. Yeah.
But like Snapchat's gonna do what it want to do, you know?
Yeah. Definitely human error in that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's technology for you. Technology will get you.
I got caught up like that one time.
Because of technology. Imagine y'all remember when y'all could see best friends? Like I could see your best friends.
That's when I got caught up. It was mad long ago. Somebody actually hit me up and was like, "Why are you my man's best friend?" I'm like, I don't fucking know, girl. Like, don't ask me why I'm his best friend.
That's
right.
I can only imagine whose best friend I am. Like, bro, I don't even use Snapchat like that. Like, bro, what is we talking?
Oh no, I use Snapchat.
But you know how you could use it, and you could use it for yourselves. And then you could watch people's Snapchats. But like, I don't snap back and forth with a lot of people. You feel me? Like,
nothing good is happening on Snapchat. That's demon time over there.
It all depends how you use it. It depends how you use it.
Nothing good is happening on Snapchat.
No, that's some good. Good chats in there, you know. It's like you talk to communicate. Yeah, you talk to people from long distances, something like that. You know, there's something good to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I bet.
It's not all bad. You feel me? I promise it's not all bad.
All bad. Yeah. But all right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna dip into today's topic of change. I felt like it was important for us to have a conversation about change because a lot of things happen in your life where change is always occurring, right? It could be good change, it could be bad change, whatever the case may be. Personally, I feel like all change is good change just because it helps you grow as a person. However, you know, things do happen. Bad things happen that then cause a change that then, you know, you gotta move on from or figure out life after. You feel me? So just thought it would be important for the world to have a conversation and how important it is to have a conversation on change and not to think the worst when change does happen, you know? So my first question to y'all would be like, is there such thing as good change and bad change? And what does that look like?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's good and bad for sure. I think it's definitely bad change. You feel me? I think it's whether you're progressing as a person or not, you know, I feel like that's basically what it comes down to. And if you're like helping others around you, but if you're not doing that, let's say you're changing your behavior, you never used to do drugs, now you're doing drugs, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's definitely bad change. But you can't have good, it can't just be all good all the time, I feel like, you know? I feel like there has to be this bad too, you know? So. So like, it can't be one way, you know. It has to be just you gotta choose, you know, make the choices. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's like it's unreal if it's too good for too long.
That's true. Yeah, stuff happens.
Or you're just ignoring like what's actually going on. Nothing is just constantly up.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. How do you guys like, I guess, navigate through? Well, I'll ask you this: have you ever been through like a situation where there was like a dramatic change for you guys, like instant, like, ooh, this just happened. You know, one day, you know how one day is this way, and the next day it's like, bang, there's something just changed. Now I gotta figure out my next step down this road.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get too personal, but with our life, like, things change all the time. Like, whether it's people, situations, stuff like that. But I guess one constant thing you can like kind of hold your head on is just like what you can control versus what you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
And so things are always changing around us, like whether it's, it's construction or whatever, people, like things are always moving parts. Life keeps going. But I think if you really try to center yourself on like things you can control versus what you can't control, that'll help you like get like a middle ground and balance because I mean people change every day, I mean we're changing every day too, so that's just kind of how I view just like what you can control versus what you can't control.
I just feel like one traumatic thing was like foster care as a kid. I guess that made me change the way I think of. Dang, like some kids don't really have good childhoods. It kind of woke me up. Like my childhood's a lot harder than most of my friends, and I just feel like that's one instance where it was just I had to stay to myself no matter what was happening. I just had to keep going to school, playing sports, like just like staying focused. Yeah, basically. So it was. I just feel like everybody has a certain thing that kind of like changes the way they think. And I feel like that was one of the things that made me change. Like, okay, like bad stuff's gonna happen. I gotta react the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I call it sometimes being responsive. Being responsive more than reactive, right? Like you said, like you have to react, but you said like you have to think about it, and that's like responding in a way when it comes to change. Like, all right, if I react instantly, then that's not always going to be the best thing. Versus if I like take the minute to respond and think about it and process what's actually going on,
Yeah, especially like when you talk about emotions. So if you have an emotional response, oftentimes you're not thinking long term. You're thinking, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now. But we've all done it before. We've done and made dumb decisions based off emotion, right? But if we just, like you said, take a second, really rationalize and then think of like the end result, even though it's hard, we're all human. But
I was just about to say that's hard.
Yeah, definitely. It is. Yeah. But I don't know, I'm at a point now where I've been through a lot of stuff, so and like I don't know, I'm not an expert at it, but I definitely that's something because of my life circumstances I like really like am better at now, so
how do you I guess my like for in general for all of us, like how do you maintain relationships when change happens? Like I feel like sometimes we go through this change, and I know me personally, I could shut down. Like I tend to shut down, and I tend to take my space away from everybody. But that's not always the best way to maintain a situation or a friendship or a relationship or whatever the case may be. Just maintaining a relationship in general is harder when I just push myself away. So how do you guys maintain that type of boundary?
Here you go.
Ooh, Shelby?
Yeah,
I don't know how to do that honestly and truthfully, because once I feel like I'm in a different phase and like stage and I'm doing something different than what somebody else is on, like I just feel like I just have to cut you off like completely. Like if something goes, I don't know, that's something that I need to work on personally, because if something goes left, it's just to the point where I'm just like, okay, like I don't want anything to do with that anymore. I'm not trying to work on it. Like it's just dead. It is what it is. But that is something that I feel like I should work on, because sometimes people can come with you when you're changing. People can come with you when you're growing, but I don't know. I'm not at that point in life yet. I just feel like you're either with me or you're not.
I feel that. I feel that way, especially like with my friends and like the people in my life right now. Like I feel like the people in my life right now are so just like set. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna, be cool with nobody else or whatever the case may be, but like my support system is my support system.
Foundation,
Exactly, and especially like when I go through change, whether it's good or bad. Like when it's good, like word, we can celebrate. When it's bad, it's like, okay, these are the people that I can lean on when I need them the most. And friends to me is like family. So that's why it's like, I use them as the people to kind of lean on the most.
I think similar to what, just to piggyback off what Shelby said about phases, I think people go through phases at different times, And with that being said, like especially where I come from, people are starting to do different things, different interests. And what I try to do is love them from a distance. And so that's not like I'm gonna cut them off forever, but we have different interests at the moment. And like I'll show love and stuff, but I just know like I'm not gonna take it personal. They're trying to figure things out on their own.
Yeah.
So for me, I try to just love them from a distance and like, just try to understand that people go through things at different times. So
how has like the change over time like made you guys like who y'all are today? This for all of us.
Yes, a little.
You said
question.
How has what?
How has like the change over time in your life made you who you are today as a person? Because we're young adults now, building careers and all this other stuff. So how has change in general made you who you are? And I would even add like find pieces of yourself.
I don't know if change has been, I think it's more reflection, like on the changes, like more specifically, because you can like life can be changing and you just going on with life and not even acknowledging or reflecting and going back and saying, okay, I was here and now I'm here, and like giving yourself that credit. So I think like reflecting back on the things that you've been through, reflecting on the changes that have happened, whether it be a few months, a year, or years, like I think that's what makes the story. Like that's what creates the journey when you sit back and you reflect on where you've been and where you are now. That's why I got this tatted on me.
I agree with the reflection part. You have to reflect a lot, I think. But I think change, it's sometimes bad change is good for you because sometimes when everything's going good, you can't see where you can get better and stuff. So I feel like I've been like at lows in my life. I've never been like, I don't think I've been depressed or nothing, but I feel like I've been at lows like, dang, this is tough. And I think those changes made me realize like I gotta be strong, not for myself, but just for my family and my friends, because like, people look up to me, and it's like I feel like change is necessary if you're trying to grow. Like if I stayed the same, I would have been in the same spot I was. You know what I'm saying? Like in the project still. But I think I feel like low key when you go like to a low spot or it's a tough spot, you can grow a lot from that place.
I agree with that.
That's a fact. What does that reflection look like? Like, how do y'all know it's that time to reflect? Like, for me personally, I just feel like reflection, it can take place on a daily basis, or it can take place after I've reached a milestone or a point where I know that I've been at my low for a while now. Like, okay, wait a minute, I've been here for a week. What do I need to do to change it? So what does that reflection process look like?
For me, I feel like I realize when something like either it's like extremes for me. Like I'm either extremely like low and it's just like, okay, what's going on? And that's when I start reflecting. Or when something like really good is happening and I'm like, wow, like I'm proud of myself. Like I did that, like, and start reflecting back on everything that I did to get me to that point. So I don't know, there's not really a middle ground. It's either I'm doing extremely bad or I'm doing extremely well.
Yeah.
I think for me, I learned at a young age that life's pretty short, whatever the case may be, and do like a lot of trials and stuff like that. So for me, I take it like one day at a time. Like my dad used to say it all the time. Alcoholism was an issue in my family. So one day at a time, you could have 1,000 good days, but one bad day, and they're like, yeah. So for me, I actually have a journal, and so I write my to-do list every day. And so my dad was in the Army too, so I'm pretty disciplined in that sense. And for me, it's like satisfying at the end of the day. But all right, I did that. I did this. But just one more point before I let John go. I think going back to my neighborhood is like it's really like eye-opening for me because a lot of people there don't look too healthy and stuff like that, and I just pray for them. But when you're in that environment for like your whole life since you were a little baby, it's just kind of crazy. It's like this is the norm. So every time I go back there, because I still have family who live there, it just like opens my eyes, and I know it's systemic. I don't want to get too deep, but it's like that for a reason. It wasn't, definitely systemic. And that's one way that I reflect just to like see how much I grew. And I just pray for like people in my neighborhood and low-income neighborhoods. For real.
Reflecting, I think my friends helped me a lot. I don't have a lot of family, so like my friends always been there to like check me, like, yo, you're wilding right now. You gotta chill out, like my brother, like, cause I can't do it on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm very stubborn and like. So I think my friends help me a lot when it comes to like reflecting and I do the same for them too. So it's like, I think having good people around you who can tell you when you're wrong is very important in your life. So that's how I reflect. I think constant communication.
Yeah, that's valid too. Like having people in your life who can, like you said, check you. Like who knows
sure, yeah.
You're going through that moment of like you're down. Like okay, you're down. Like something's up. Something's going on. What is it? And let me know what it is. And holding people accountable. I just told Shelby that like I'm gonna hold you accountable, bro. Like I need you to do what you're gonna do because I'm gonna have to be there, hold you accountable to kind of get yourself out of a mindset, or get yourself rejuvenated, charged up again. And that's sometimes what it is. Like you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have days where like you may think something's not working or you're not doing enough, like that. I feel like that's just the days that you're just gonna have. And that's what I have. Like, I just feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, which is the mindset that I've created. So those days, having the people to pull you out of them is always like just valid, And I was gonna go back and ask, like, Sean, what do you do if like you don't check off a something on your list?
Yeah, I mean, stuff happens. You feel me? It's that change between that could happen too. So like you said, the change. That's where the change comes in. Like, all right, like that didn't work out. Maybe the next day I can try and do it. Or if there was no way for it to happen, I just cross it off. You feel me? So I don't stress myself over it too much. But just like you said, it holds me accountable. Like, what I like to do is try to hold myself accountable. When it gets to that point, like my friends know about something, they're telling me, then I know, like I'm really wild. Like I need that. You feel me? You need to be around people who like tell you what you need to hear, and not always what you want to hear. So.
I just come to like, have you guys ever been in a moment of realization like where life is good, but then it's like you want more for yourself, and like how do you get to that point where you like are pushing yourself to get more, in a sense? I've been getting deep lately. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, I think
push yourself.
Yeah, like you gotta push yourself to do something different.
I think it's easy. I think it's easy for me. Like it's not easy, but I feel like just the environment I was around and all that, everything I did was different. Even like being like growing up like white in a black neighborhood was very interesting. It was I loved every second of it. Sometimes it was hard though, But I think it was just trying to be different, I think, was the main thing. Like I don't fit in, I'm not gonna try to fit in. Like I'm gonna be myself, you know what I'm saying? Like and I'm comfortable with myself, so I feel like and just trying to be different, like, like going to college was different. You know what I'm saying? These little things, like they're different like from where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like just going against the grain is hard, but like after you do it, you can show other people the way possible. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do now. Like I'm trying to show dudes like you can go to school and get paid for it, like, get a job that pays, you know what I'm saying? So I just think being different is it's hard, but I think it's It's definitely possible, you know.
Yeah. I asked that question because I feel like some people are scared to make that change to be.
For sure. It's scary.
No, it's hard, yo.
And
That
that's
used to be me.
Hard.
I feel like just recently I'm learning like what are you scared of? Like what is there what is the fear for? Like just do it. Like just if you're not good at it, if you fail, then you try something else. Like it's not the end of the world. Everyone's out here trying stuff. Who cares?
No, for sure, yep.
I agree.
yeah.
Some people just are afraid of that though. They want to be in their comfortable place, like.
But you can't grow
step.
being comfortable
Yep.
and staying where you're at.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's true. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Very true.
That is just, I guess my last would be for y'all. Like, what are the steps that you guys are taking right now to kind of keep change going in your life, or to keep things kind of moving in your life right now?
Like I said earlier, not to beat a dead horse, but I try to take it a day at a time. You know, it's a pandemic going on right now. So I feel like just trying to, like I said, trying to control what I can and try to be like the best version of myself, as corny as it sounds. But, you know, I have people who look up to me. I have like family who's still struggling right now. So with that being said, that's like, I really don't really have a choice. Like, I don't have either my parents no more. You feel me? Like, I've been poor my whole life, so why would I want to like go back? Like, so for me, I think it's just it's bigger than me or my brother. It's like, you know, it's just something I'm trying to. I don't know if I'll ever be satisfied, but I know I'm not satisfied yet, and I'm just trying to be a better person. And like I said, people look up to me, and like I have a younger brother and stuff like that. So that's kind of my mindset as far as like on the daily.
You're talking about. Can you repeat the question real quick? Like change in itself, you're saying, or is it
To be
like?
honest, I forgot myself, but I think it was something.
It's like it was like how are
What are
you
you
trying to
doing?
like?
What are you doing on a daily
For
basis to
themselves.
kind of keep yourself
Oh,
going?
I'm trying to I'm trying to do new things. Like I tried an Instagram page. Me and my brother have one.
Yep.
I'm trying to give back to my community. In like a couple years, I think I'm trying to make a scholarship out of like the firefighters like union for like low income housing. Give back to the community. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think giving back is the main thing. Like because I had no one to show me like how to be a firefighter. Like so my twin kind of showed me. You feel me? And it's like you know what I'm saying? I just think helping the kids who don't have both parents in their homes and like who been a foster kid and like I can relate to like things like that. You feel me? So it's like I think it's just bigger than me. Like I think I'm just like I'm in a position now as a firefighter. I got my bachelor's, like get my master's. I'm in a position where I can like people can like trust me when I say something. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's credible. Yeah.
like not to sound corny, but it's valid. Like yo, this dude knows what he's
Valid.
talking about. This dude's really like he been through it. You feel me? Like so I just feel like it's giving back. Like trying to make a scholarship, trying to like make workouts for people, trying to like you know like things like that. Like
Yeah.
things that people don't really do. You know what I'm saying? Like so yeah.
I just thought about this too. Like, but how are you guys doing for during the whole pandemic? Like, that was a big change for a lot of people. Where, you guys work outside all the time. But some people, they're so used to going to the gym that then when this happened, they don't have that discipline anymore because this was a big change in their life. So
I canceled my membership.
But, I mean, well, if you know us, we always like I said, we come from low income. Like we didn't always have gym memberships. We started working out at a young age, so we would work out in like the monkey bars in the back of the projects, whatever the case may be. And like you said, it showed before. It's like you have to get uncomfortable. So like if that means going outside and going for a run, or whatever the case may be, like doing a lot of plyometrics or stuff like that, as opposed to weights, then you got to do that. You don't have to, but it's there. It's an option. So at the end of that, like it's scary and it might feel really weird, but at the end of that, it's usually a good result. So that's for the pandemic. I mean, I've been working virtually with the kids and stuff like that. So,
pandemic wasn't that much different for me because I had a gym in my job still, so I still like lifted weights and stuff. But I would go outside, like I would have group like meetings, like let's all work out at this place. Even for some of my friends who struggle with like working out, I'd be like, yo, just come here. We can do a little something, like, you know what I'm saying? So you can like.
I'm still waiting, by the way. I'm just saying.
You can start. That's what I'm saying. Like you can start somewhere.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta be doing all these. You feel me? You gotta start somewhere. So I would tell my friends like, pull up to this place at 3. I'll bring equipment. Don't worry about the equipment. We'll just, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like just to bring people together because everybody was stressed out. You know what I'm saying? People are still stressed out. People dying. So
it's a crazy time.
just like bring people together. That's what I try to do. Like, yo, like if you need to talk, let me know. Like after this workout, whatever. Like, feel me? So it wasn't just working out. It was just like keeping people company too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. What advice would y'all give the people out there who are going through some changes in their life right now?
Man.
Stay strong. Keep going.
Yeah, I like that. Man, that's a loaded question. Because everyone handles like trials and stuff differently.
Yeah.
You know, but I would say generally you want to try and handle things in a healthy way. And so, for example, like where I'm from, a lot of people like resort to like smoking, drinking, whatever the case, even like people in my family. And so you want to try to be around people who like care about you and want your best interests. You feel me? Like my brother said earlier, you can't handle everything by yourself. So you want to just try to find a healthy outlet, whether it's going on a walk, you know, trying to eat right. You know, don't like when you're sad, don't eat, stuff like that. Just, you know, try to do things you love. Long story short, do things you love. Don't forget about like you love these things. If you love art, keep drawing. Like that's a good way for you to have like your best artwork through these times. You can look back to reflect, like we talked about earlier. So
I want to second that, but at the same time say don't ignore the problem or don't ignore what's going on around you because you're trying to escape. Like it's good to have those outlets where you can escape, but don't use them so much that you completely ignore what's going on around you and you don't deal with the issue.
I think that's where like my brother and I struggle actually. Like we are so used to just going forward, whatever, but oftentimes we don't stop and like think what's happening. Like, we're not perfect, you feel me? Like it's kind of like I don't know. I'm just, you know, I don't really reflect as far as my emotions and stuff like that. So maybe that's one thing we can work on.
Yeah.
What about you, John?
Oh no, I just feel like at the end of the day, it's bigger than you. Like I don't know, my like parents passed and stuff like that. It's just I know people, my friends died. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like people depend on you, so it's like if it's a hard time, man, like sometimes you got no one to lean on. Like you got to be the person they lean on you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be the rock. You got to be like the strong person. I feel like I've always been that person, and I think I'm always gonna be that person. So, but if I'm not that person, I feel like I'm like, yo, honestly, like, I think I'm okay with saying, yo, I need to get away. I'm okay. I'm okay with saying like, this is crazy right now. I need to go to your crib and chill out. I need to get away. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like I've always been good with like trying to balance that. Like, yo, okay, like, this is crazy. Like, kind of like, can I vent to you? I have friends I can just vent to. So I feel like I know now as I'm older, I'm 24. I know like when to vent and when to just like be strong. Like, you know what? You need something, I got you. You know, so I feel like I'm good with that balance.
That's hard too. That
comes with experience. That comes with experience. I think. I was the oldest bro, you know, so.
For sure, it's like those times where you know that you could talk about things, but then you know, like for me personally, when I keep things in, I just know that it's gonna get better. So why am I gonna continue to talk about it or go to other people for advice or help when I know that if I just keep it together, I stay strong and I'm patient, like everything's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like I'll just rather just keep it to myself. You know what I mean?
Word, yeah.
But that's it that's it. And I appreciate y'all
No
for
problem.
coming on and joining us on this episode and on this journey of building up Valid TV. I think this is part of a change for us, especially during this pandemic. Like we talked about yesterday, I mean, the pandemic has helped our creative juices for sure, and building something,
Sure.
you know. So I appreciate
Yeah.
y'all for sure for hopping on with us.
No
But
problem. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, yo.
of course, continue to do great things and give back to your community because I know how important that is for y'all. And
Yeah.
continue. Go ahead.
I was also like kind of reluctant to me and John, like, I don't know if we should do this because, you know, it's like we're not big on public speaking, whatever the case may be. So for us, this was definitely uncomfortable. You feel me?
Yeah.
So for us to do it now, I feel like a little more satisfied. Like, okay, like I did that. I did something like I seen something somewhere like try something once a day like you wouldn't normally do. And I guess this is that. You feel me? So
Yeah.
whether it's saying hi to somebody, whatever the case.
Y'all did great.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Y'all did great. Y'all are true to yourselves at all times, and I always appreciate hearing pieces of y'all story because I feel like there was times where I was around when watching pieces of y'all journey, you know, and I'm proud of you both for sure.
Nah, likewise. I know you come from humble beginnings too. You feel me? From Dorchester and stuff. So I could say the same. You know, facts for sure. Like, you know, it's all love. Feel me?
Sure. All love. Wow. And like always, this is Valid TV. Make sure y'all get y'all Valid TV merch. You see Sean John, you feel me?
Yeah, man. Sure. Extra small. You feel me?
Extra small, man.
Come on.
This is Valid TV, vulnerability, accountability, leadership, intentionality, and demand. All aspects of life, and we always just here to talk about it.
And that's Valid.